All right, what's up, 007s? These are five lies that are keeping men lonely. And I have honestly believed all of these at some point. So I really would like to help those of you who are stuck in this mindset that these things are essential in order for you to get a woman. And they're just not. None of these things really matter in the grand scheme of things. So let's jump straight into it, man. I hope this brings you guys a lot of value. Let's go. So the first one, you must be at least 6 feet tall. Now, I used to believe this, and I don't know why I believe this because I know so many guys who are between 5'5" and 5'8", 5'9" that are getting more women than my friends who are over 6 feet tall. As simple as that. But I see so many guys online complaining that women only want tall guys and dating is so much easier for guys with height. Completely untrue. There are a lot of tall guys who are virgins, who are struggling. And these guys are 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". I know some of these guys. As a guy who is over 6 feet tall, I'm personally 6'2". I can assure you that this is completely false. Most of my life, I have been taller than my peers. Growing up, I was taller than everybody. I was the tallest kid in my class. I remember when I was in second grade, I was taller than my teacher in second grade. In second grade, I was like 5'5", 5'6". Something like that. Like I've always been pretty tall, and I just peaked out in like high school. But I've had many failures with women. Nothing changed until I self-improved and took action. Okay, guys. So a lot of my friends, even some of my shorter friends will be like, "Oh, Bray, it's easy for you. You're tall this, you're tall that." And then I'm like, "Okay, you know I've been tall my whole life and how much I struggle." And I'm like, I didn't change until I started taking action. I had to lose weight. I had to get skincare. I had to dress nice. I had to learn how to be confident. I had to learn how to socialize with women. I had to do all these things, and it took me a lot of time. And nothing changed until I did those things. It didn't matter how tall I was. I was still lonely. I was still single. I was still a virgin at the time. I had to change. I have friends who are tall that are virgins. Literally, one of my closest friends, he's 25 years old, just like me, has never had the touch of a woman, and bro is like 6'3", 6'4". Like it's just as simple as that. Height only affects you when you let it. If you max out all your other stats and focus on your leverage points, you will do fine. Okay, what does that mean? What I'm saying is, if you work on your confidence, you work on your money, you work on your body, which I'm not saying work on your money to get women. I'm just saying work on your money to have a good lifestyle in general. But you're working on every other thing that will make somebody attractive. You want to be the full package because the guy who's a full package, he beats out all of these lies. As simple as that. You could be 6'5", and another guy could be 5'7". The guy who's 5'7", he's in great shape. He has a good job or a good career. He has fun. He knows how to talk to women. He knows how to build emotional attachment up with women. He's just a good time. People love being around him. The guy who's 6'5", he's just 6'5". He has no money, no social skill, no nothing. The woman is going with the more well-rounded guy. If you genuinely believe that she's not, something is honestly wrong with you. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just telling you the truth. Like, think about it. Even as a guy, you would much rather be friends with a guy who is a good time, who has things going on, than a guy who is just tall or just good looking or for whatever reason. It doesn't make sense. And I think men think this way because men, we are more visual than women. Women are visual, but men, we put how people look in their appearance, we put it on a much bigger pedestal. Women like guys who can build an emotional attachment. Women care about their emotions. Okay, so I know plenty of short guys that get more women than you could even imagine. This is completely true because they are not a victim of their height. They are confident because they have seen the results from their hard work. Some of my short friends are probably the most confident guys I know because they work super hard. They understand, okay, I'm short. I can't change that. I can't control that. I didn't win the genetic lottery. But what can I do to make me win? And my friends who do that, I'm not gonna lie, those guys be putting up numbers. I'm like, damn, these guys really have good game. These guys are really good with women. And a lot of them are charismatic because they focused on what they could change instead of what they cannot change. You can't control your height unless you go have the height surgery. And if you do, kudos to you, my boy. But majority of guys aren't gonna do that. So focus on what you can change. Women don't like nice guys. Oh my God. All right, let's get into it, guys. We have all heard the saying, nice guys finish last. In some cases, this can be true. Now, I'll admit that in some cases, nice guys do finish last, but it depends. Let's talk about why it depends. It only depends on the nice guys. I put that in quotes for a reason. Mindset and his decisions. Okay, this is the problem with the whole nice guy agenda. Most guys aren't actually nice guys. They are nice because they want to smash. Oh, if I take her to this nice restaurant, she'll come back to my place. Oh, if I'm nice to her, she'll like me. They're not doing it because they're genuinely nice people and they look out for everybody that they can. It's the simple fact that they are trying to nice themselves into the draws. And whenever they don't, they get upset and they go through this whole incel and red pill rage phase. Like, bro, you were just being nice because you wanted to hit. Stop investing so much so early into these women. Like, a lot of us will get with a girl and just because she's attractive or because we're scared, oh, I'm going to buy her this. I'm going to take her here. I'm going to do this for her. I'm going to do that for her. And she'll like me, right? No. She likes a guy who's not doing all of this because this guy actually respects himself. He puts himself first. A lot of men get used and played because they allow disrespect, put the women first over their goals and their happiness, and as a result, they pay for it. I've been there. My very first relationship, I put her over everything. And what did I get out of it? Nothing. Debt. I got debt. That's what I got. Instead of taking accountabilities, most guys cope and blame the women. Not taking the blame off of the women completely, but at the end of the day, you allow them to use or manipulate you. When you see the red flags, remember, you can get a woman who will appreciate you and you shouldn't settle for less. This will solve a lot of nice guys' problem. Instead of thinking I can nice my way into her heart or into her underwear, start understanding I come first. My goals come first. This doesn't make you selfish or a bad person, but think about it. How can you expect a woman to like you, trust you, follow you, submit to you, all these other things, if your life is out of control? If you know you need to be going to work or you know you can't afford to take her to that steakhouse and you take her there and you put yourself in a financial strain, that woman can't trust you anyway. What woman wants to be with a guy who is reckless to that extent? A lot of guys are just reckless when it comes to their money, when it comes to their time, and time is the most important asset because you can't get your time back. So when you sit there and let a woman waste your time and play in your face and counsel on you and emotionally manipulate you, you are signaling to her that you don't value yourself. You don't value your time. A lot of guys think that women like assholes. No, women like guys who respect themselves. And in a heartbeat, I'll let a woman know I come first. Like, my goals come first when it comes to my life, because romance without finance is a nuisance. As simple as that. But anyway, guys, let's get to the next slide, bro. Just focus on yourself, bro. It will be okay. Oh my God, bro. I see this in so many comment sections of guys trying to cope, and I want to explain why this is a lie. Okay. The biggest bro space comment I see, and this is an outright lie. Yes, focusing on bettering yourself and your happiness is important. I recommend every guy should focus on his goals and make himself happy. Of course, bro, you want to. But if you want women, you need to learn how to attract them. Just because you become rich and jacked doesn't mean you will get women. Okay, and this is what I mean by this. All right, guys think, oh, if I become rich or if I get in really good shape or I focus on myself, then I'll be happy. No, bro, you're still going to be lonely. You're just going to be rich, or you're just going to be jacked. Or I'll attract more women. No, your social skills with women are still going to suck. You're either going to find yourself in one of two places. Either you're going to be the guy who's paying for it, the guy who's used as an ATM if you just think money is going to save you, or you're just going to be like, damn, I got all this money, or I made all this progress, and I'm still not attracting women. It's clearly not worth it. That's why you see a lot of guys being like, oh, I did try self-improvement. I did try this and it didn't work. No, it's because you took away from talking to women. You literally just said, I'm not going to talk to women. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to focus on me. If you don't practice talking to women and getting better with women, how do you think you're going to attract women? That doesn't even make sense. That's like me being like, yeah, I want to become a basketball player. I want to go to the NBA. So I'm going to just hit the weight room, but I'm not going to play basketball. Like, yeah, you're going to be in good shape physically, but you're going to suck. Like, you're not going to have any practice shooting. You're not having any practice dribbling or playing defense. You have to practice the thing you want to get better at. And you can focus on yourself and date at the same time. A lot of people think you have to do one or the other. That's why a lot of guys become rich, become successful, and they need somebody who makes less money than them or less successful than them. They need to pay them to help them get women. It's because they neglect being balanced. They neglect being well-rounded. If your game is bad and you are not confident with attracting women, you will still suffer, even though other areas of your life have improved. You can't get better at something you don't work on. Money will not save you. And we're going to talk about money a little later on anyway. But a lot of guys use this as a coping mechanism to avoid facing the uncomfortable truths and having to change. Most guys would rather climb up a tree to hide from doing hard work and taking accountability than staying on the ground and just taking accountability and doing the work. It's just amazing. No, like I said, you just need money, bro. I hear this all the time, and it's somewhat funny because a lot of guys believe this, but then they complain about women using men, and I never understand it. Guys say, oh, I need to get rich. Oh, just get your money up, bro. You'll get girls. You'll get this. And then in the next breath, oh, women are gold diggers. They only want men for their resources and their assets. Yeah, dummy, because because that's what you presented yourself to her as. You presented yourself as an ATM. You start taking her on these multiple $100 to $1,000 dates. You're buying her everything she wants. You are using your money and flexing it in order to make her like you. So that's all she's going to see you as. You have to start out how you can hold out. If you're the type of guy where you're okay with every date being hundreds and thousands of dollars or whatever, okay, cool, boom, do you, bro. But just don't be surprised when if the money runs out or you stop doing these things, she's gone. Or she finds a guy who can do more financially for her, she's gone. Dates should be cheap. First dates should be cheap. Over time, once she shows that she's invested and you actually like her and it's been earned, then okay, yeah, take her to that steakhouse, take her on that vacation, do that. But don't start out leading with money. It's only going to get you used. When you lead/depend on money to get women, that's all she will see you as. A woman has no idea how much money you make when you approach/match with her on a dating app, unless you are showing it or telling her directly, which is a setup. That is a setup for you to get used. Some of the most attractive women I know have or are currently dating broke guys because these guys understand that women value how you make them feel more than anything. That's why she will date the toxic broke ex. He has a stronghold on her emotionally. Let's really talk about this. This is serious. I have been on dates. I have been in relationships. I have been friends with plenty of attractive women. Very, very attractive women. And one thing I noticed a lot of them had in common when I asked them about their dating history was their ex was a bum, or their ex cheated, or their ex was this, or ex was that. None of them said, yeah, my ex was this rich guy and he was so great and all this and all that, because if that was the case, she'd still be with him, right? So it just goes to show women care more about how you make them feel. So it's just like the girl who she'll cry to the good guy or cry to a better option about the guy who's using her, doing her dirty and all these other things, and she keeps going back to him and you don't understand why and she doesn't understand why. And the truth is, he has an emotional stronghold over her. She feels like she needs him. She feels like she can't live without him. She feels like she can't do better. She has become codependent because this man has emotionally basically whipped her. She's basically emotionally whipped. And she's going to keep going back. No amount of money is going to save you from that, bro. I also have clients that make more money than I do, and they pay me to help me attract more women. I was on a client call with a guy the other day. This guy makes like 3-4 times what I make. He makes a lot of money. And guess what? He was on a client call with me asking me for help. And there's nothing wrong with that. I actually respect him for taking action. But money isn't going to solve your problems. Like people say, money will not unlame you. If you are lame, if you are struggling, then bro, you're just going to continue to struggle. You're just going to have more zeros in your bank account. I'm not saying don't go for money. Yes, obviously build up your life and make as much money as you can to give yourself that freedom. But you making money isn't going to change your not your financial situation, your dating situation if you're struggling to attract women who genuinely desire you, not just your money. Hold on. Women only want Chad and Tyrone. Let's really talk about this because I'm so tired of hearing this. This is false. We've seen on multiple occasions women we find highly attractive with an unattractive man. We even begin to think to ourselves ways that he could have pulled her that are usually unethical. Money, he's packing, he's whatever excuse you want to make. We've all done. We've seen a guy with a girl be like, oh, he must got money or something. It's much harder than most guys realize with very attractive guys because women test them even more than they test average guys or ugly guys because they believe he's a player and they do not want to compete. You hear women say all the time they want medium ugly guys. Why do they say that? Because they've probably been played by the overly attractive guy, or they think that attractive guys have options like they have. So when you are a super attractive guy, you have to have even more game, I'd argue, than an average guy, because women are going to perceive you either as a player or they're going to have high expectations for your game and for your confidence. And if it doesn't live up to their standard, they are going to get the ick. It's as simple as that. Men are more visual than women. That's why we think this. Men, we pedestalize appearance, where women, they do, but just not as much. They look at other aspects as well. Women care more about how they feel than just looks. Looks matter. Let me clarify that before you guys sit here and try to say, oh, well, actually, you're saying looks don't matter. Looks do matter. But what I'm saying is, looks get you in the door, okay? Looks get you the opportunity to show your personality. Personality, game, and confidence is what makes a woman stick around. That's what makes her crave you. That's what makes her desire you. So if you are handsome with no game or social skills to build that emotional attachment from the woman, you will be cooked, especially if another handsome guy or a medium ugly guy can build her attachment. It's as simple as that. You can look as good as you want. If you cannot make her emotionally attached to you, or you cannot excite her and make her want to be around you, gang, it's over. It doesn't matter how good you look. You can work on your looks all day long. You're just going to be a good looking guy who can't keep a woman. Simple as that. Conclusion. If you are still tired of being lied to or struggling with these lies, it's not too late. You still have time to work on yourself and change your dating situation. There's plenty of time left. A lot of guys think it's the end of the world or the end of the rope. It's not. You still have time. Stop listening to cope and the excuses from guys who are afraid to change. And it's sad that so many of you guys have to deal with this. So many of you guys do want to change, but you get basically, what's the word? You get discouraged because your friends or some guys online are telling you, oh, it's not worth it, bro. Just be single. Just chill with the boys. Just do this. Just give up. It's not going to work. You're not this. You're not that. Stop listening to those guys. Stop listening to people who aren't where you want to be. If these guys aren't getting the women that you want and they're not happy with their dating lives, why are you listening to them? That's the blind leading the blind. I have a free ebook in my description guiding you guys on how I changed my dating life forever and I stopped being the victim. I took control and I started seeing results. If that is not enough and you want personalized one-on-one help that can help you get results even faster, you can reach out to my email. My email is askaxelblack@gmail.com, or you can DM me on Instagram, and this will all be in the description below. Let's work together. So with the one-on-ones, if you want more information, I'll just basically put it this way. The first one-on-one call we do, it'll be 30 minutes. I can figure out what you need help with. It's completely free, but every call after that, I do charge about an hour and I'll give you my rates. They are affordable, but the benefit to one-on-one help is I can help you uniquely with what you're struggling on, and you can get results much faster than just the vague videos that I put up. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.